nothing for public comment for agenda items. We'll go into athletics. Mrs. Sexton.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. I have nothing right now. Mr. Renzi?
No, ma'am, nothing.
Mr. Evans? That's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Sexton. Moving to buildings and grounds. Mr. Detweiler.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. I'd like to request approval of the following event and building usage request. And with no questions or objections, I'd like to spread items 1 to 21.
Hearing none, they'll be placed on the agenda.
Mr. Kochnow, anything? Sangster?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Bigham? All right, that's all we have, Mr. Panzella. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Detweiler. Moving to the Carnegie Free Library. Mrs. Driscoll. Thank you, Mrs. Driscoll. Moving to the Collinsville Area Career and Technical Center. Mr. Kochnow.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. Request approval for travel in accordance with policy number 431. Dr. Jeff McWilliams to attend the Innovation, Learning, and Career Education Conference, which will be held November 5th through the 7th, 2025 at the Penn State Hotel and Conference Center, State College, PA, all costs to be paid from Carl Perkins grant funding. No questions or objections, like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, they'll be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the Collinsville Area Career and Technical Center Occupational Advisory Committee list as attached for the 2025-2026 school year. No questions or objections, I'll like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that'll be placed on the agenda.
That's all I have, Mr. Panzella. Mr. Detweiler.
Nothing additional. Thank you.
Mrs. Sangster.
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Williams, that's all we have. Mr. Panzella, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Detweiler. Moving to curriculum, Mr. Detweiler.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. I'd like to request approval of the following professional employee travel, and with no questions or objections, I'd like to spread items 1 through 8.
Hearing none, they'll be placed on the agenda.
Mr. Renzi. Dr. Coons? That's all we have, Mr. Panzella. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Detweiler. Moving to cyber, Mr. Martre.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. We have nothing for Wednesday night. Mrs. Driscoll, you have anything to add? Mr. Ghost? That's all we have.
Thank you, Mr. Martre. Moving to federal programs, Mr. Renzi.
Federal programs, it doesn't have anything tonight. Dr. Coons, anything with you?
I have nothing, thank you.
Okay, that's pretty clear. That's all we have, Mr. Panzella.
Thank you, Mr. Renzi. Moving to finance, staying with you, Mr. Renzi.
Request approval to accept the following donations: the Bible Club, Central Fellowship Church, $150, Tommy and Vicki Nicelonger, $200, James and Lisa Bowman, $100, Breakneck Church of God, $100, Kevin and Shelley Bryan, $100, Clinton Church of God, $200, Bell and Small, $500, Central Fellowship Church, $50, two anonymous at $20 and one at $30. No questions or objections, like that placed on the agenda, please.
Hearing none, will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the attached requisitions, orders, and to authorize district business office to process orders and payments. No questions or objections, like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for travel in accordance with policy number 431, Jennifer Helms, Sheree Robinson to attend the Pennsylvania Association School Business Officials Annual Conference, Pittsburgh, PA, March 24th through March 27th, 2026, at an approximate cost of $2,500 for registration, lodging, meals, and travel, to be paid from fiscal services travel budget. No questions or objections, like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to add the applicant tracking hiring module and the staff onboarding module to the CSIU financial software at a cost of $2,996.25 for the 2025-2026 school year, paid for by fiscal services software budget. No questions or objections, like that placed on the agenda.
Question.
Question?
Could you please explain that to the board?
Yes, so this is part of the CSIU, which is our financial software that includes payroll and all the employment information. These modules would be for especially the onboarding, once an employee would be hired, it would be an electronic version versus the paper forms that we have now. So they would be sent an email and they would electronically fill out those forms. And then the applicant tracking would be also the online applications. So all of our applications would then be on our website and online. And all of that information would be able to be tracked online versus paper forms. And when those employees would go from an applicant to being hiring, that information would all be there and readily available within our financial software for our payroll system. So it's just bringing everything to, the way a lot of the world's doing things now electronically. So we'll have everything on our website and all electronic versus paper forms.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Liz?
On that cost, the $29.96.25, I'm assuming that's a setup fee plus your licensing. What will be?
So the licensing and all of that is all already paid for through the CSIU software that you guys have approved when we went to the financial software. So this is the annual cost just for the staff onboarding module. They're actually the applicant tracking. This is the first year for it, and so we're going to pilot that, and they're going to give us that. There's going to be no charge for that for this year, and they haven't even set a price for that. So we may have it for a few years for free because we're piloting that module.
Thank you very much.
Any questions? Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for travel in accordance with policy number 431 for Denise Petrowski to attend the NASA Alliance for Medicaid and Education Conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, October 7th, 2025 to October 10th, 2025, at no cost to the district. All costs to be paid for by Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Technical Assistance Center grant through the Department of Human Services. No questions or objections, I'll get placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Mr. Detweiler. Mr. Kokenauer. And Mrs. Rounson again. That's all I have, Ms. Panzella, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Renzi. Moving to food service, Mrs. Sangston.
Thank you. Request the conditional approval contingent upon successful submission of screening and background checks for the cafeteria worker substitute list for the 25-26 school year. Through 6. Questions or objections? I would like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
All I have, Mr. Mortray. Mr. Kokenar. Mr. Triffenoff.
Yes, we'd like to mention we're going to have a presentation on Wednesday. We're going to introduce Becky Perigo of the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. They were a big part of our program in summer feeding, so we're going to have something special for the summer feeding cafeteria staff. They already recognize them. And we'd also like to thank Kevin Ghost and the Community Ministries for their generous donation for the gift cards for the incentive program for that as well. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Sangston. Moving to personnel and review and liaison, Mr. Renzi.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. Everyone sit back and relax. I have quite a bit. Don't fall asleep. The following Family and Medical Leave Act leaves are confirmed by the board for a teacher effective August 21st, 2025, intermittently for the 2025-2026 school year. For a teacher effective September 7th, 2025 until November 30th, 2025 for the 2025-2026 school year. And for a teacher effective September 16th, 2025 intermittently for the 2025-2026 school year. No questions or objections, I'll get placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, those will be placed on the agenda.
Requested conditional approval contingent upon successful submission of screening and background checks of the following additions to the professional substitute list for the 2025-2026 school year. No questions or objections, I'll get placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Requested conditional approval contingent upon successful submission of screening and background checks of the following additions to the support personnel substitute list for the 2025-2026 school year. No questions or objections, like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for an aide to take a child care leave of absence beginning September 12th, 2025 and until October 10th, 2025, or if requested, the duration of such document or leave request that's approved by administration. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to ratify the acceptance of the resignation of the cafeteria effective August 19th, 2025. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to ratify the acceptance of the resignation of effective September 5th, 2025. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request to approve the memorandum of agreement or memorandum of understanding with the CACM ESPA to resolve an outstanding grievance as proposed. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for the leave of absence of the cafeteria for a period of up to 90 days effective August 20, 2025 and subject to renewal pursuant to the terms of the applicable collective bargaining agreement as determined and approved by district administration. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of release time for Bridget Camp, Southwest Regional IPD Committee Chair, with the cost to be reimbursed by PSA as follows for the following dates, September through May. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for the disability leave of absence of aide for a period of 3 weeks effective September 8th, 2025 and subject to renewal extension pursuant to the terms of the applicable collective bargaining agreement as determined and approved by district administration. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of release time for Margaret Rockwell, ESP Region Officer at Large, with cost to be reimbursed by PSCA as follows for the dates from September until June. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of release time for Margaret Rockwell to attend PSCA board meetings with cost to be reimbursed by PSCA as follows from September through June 2026. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the disability leave of absence of an aide for a period of up to 6 weeks effective September 18th, 2025 and subject to renewal extension pursuant to the terms of the applicable collective bargaining agreement as determined and approved by district administration. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the disability leave of absence of an aide for a period of up to 6 weeks effective September 22nd, 2025 and subject to renewal extension pursuant to the terms of the applicable collective bargaining agreement as determined and approved by district administration. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to ratify the acceptance of the resignation of security effective September 3rd, 2025. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request acceptance of and approval of the retirement of a food service secretary effective January 5th, 2025. Should that be 2026?
Yes.
Okay, 2026. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for release time for Dominic Grinaldo, collective bargaining and disparity committee member, with cost to be reimbursed by PSCA as follows from September 2025 through April 2026. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request a conditional approval contingent upon successful submission of screening and background checks of the following additions to the long-term substitute list for the 2025-2026 school year. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that it be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to hire as JROTC instructor effective August 19, 2025 for the 2025-2026 school year in accordance with the agreement with the Department of Defense and hiring approval letter and pending all credentialing requirements and subject to verification of the results of physical examination, TB tests, and drug screenings, required clearances, and all other essential employment requirements under Board Policy 303 and PDE regulations. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that it be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to ratify the acceptance of the resignation of teacher effective September 16, 2025, and approval of the separation agreement with CAEA related thereto as proposed. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that it be placed on the agenda.
Request approval to ratify the acceptance of the resignation of an A effective September 18, 2025. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that it be placed on the agenda.
Request approval for travel in accordance with policy number 431. Tim Witt to attend the Pennsylvania Association School Business Officials Annual Conference, Pittsburgh, PA, March 24th through March 27th, 2026, at an approximate cost of $1,200 for registration, lodging, meals, and travel to be paid from the Human Resources travel budget. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that it be placed on the agenda.
And the last one, letter W, request approval to amend the previously approved child care leave for an A to begin October 19th, 2025 for the remainder of the 2025-2026 school year, subject to submission of substantiating documentation. No questions or objections like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing nothing, it will be placed on the agenda.
Mr. Delwald, hope you don't have anything.
I apologize, but I missed it. Could you reread that?
Okay. Mr. Witt.
Thanks everybody for the length of that, since it's been a busy month. We will also note there will be another personal leave request on the agenda for Wednesday based on information received today. And we also wanted to voice support for the Finance Committee's item 14D, which is that CSIU software that'll standardize the process for new employee applicants. It will also provide some time savings for employee staff in the HR department. It will also result in some space and storage space savings as well. It'll increase compliance with some various items with respect to record retention as well. So that looks to be far worth the cost, which has been for the district. So I just wanted to let everybody know we were supportive of that as well. Thank you. That's all.
Mr. Evans? Mr. Delwald, I will reread that on Wednesday with the whole list of names added to it too. Thank you. Somebody else?
I would say maybe you could just go with as presented, maybe for Wednesday.
I'm sorry.
Just go with as presented, right?
As
Very good,
presented.
thank you, Mr. Renton. We're going to move to policy and legislative. Mr. Mortray.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. This is a request for approval of the second reading of the following policies: 011, Principles of Governance and Leadership; 222, Tobacco and Vaping Products; 227, Controlled Substance and Paraphernalia; 903, Public Comment and Board Meetings. I'd like to have that placed on the agenda if there's no questions or objections.
Hearing none, they'll be placed on the agenda.
17B, this will be our first reading of these following policies: 707, use of school facilities; 815.1, use of generative artificial intelligence in education. And if anybody would like to get a copy of those two to read them over, have any questions, you can check with myself or any of the person on the committee. And you can see Mrs. DeWitt to get a copy of that. And I'd like to have those placed on the agenda. No questions or objections.
Hearing none, they'll be placed on the agenda.
And that's all we have. Mrs. Driscoll, do you have anything additional? Mr. Evans? That's all we have.
Thank you, Mr. Mortray. Moving to safety and security. Mrs. Driscoll.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Driscoll. Moving to special education, sticking with you, Mrs. Driscoll.
Request approval of agreement between Westmoreland Intermediate Unit and the Connellsville Area School District Agreement for the 2025-2026 school year. With no questions or objections, we'd like them placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Penn Highlands Connellsville Regional Center for Autism. Request approval of the agreement between Penn Highlands Connellsville Regional Center for Autism and the Connellsville Area School District Agreement for the 2025-2026 school year. No questions or comments? We would like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Travel in accordance with policy number 431. Request approval for the following travel: Brooke Schumar, Molly McClure, Brooke Diasis, and Adriana Colburn to attend the Building Confidence for AAC California PA on October 23rd, 2025, at no cost to the district, and with no comments or questions.
Question.
Question?
What is building conference? Do you know?
AAC devices are augmentative communication devices for our nonverbal students. So those are SLPs that work in the autistic support classroom and the life skills. So it's a training for them.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Agreement for the Riverview Intermediate Unit 5 partial program. Request approval of the agreement between Intermediate Unit 6 and the Connellsville Area School District for partial hospitalization program services at a rate of $125 per day per student enrollment. An 8% administration fee will be added to the final billing. If there are questions or comments, we'd like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
And that's all we have. Mrs. Langston?
Nothing, thank you.
Mr. Martray?
No.
Ms. Vaughn? That's all we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Driscoll. Moving to student services, Mrs. Sangston.
Thank you. Request approval of the Student Assistant Program Staff Agreement between the Fayette County Drug and Alcohol Commission and the Connellsville Area School District Agreement for the 25-26 school year. No questions or objections? I'd like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the following supplemental contracts for the 25-26 school year contingent upon receipt of a signed contract no later than 1 month after assurance, including posting if the contingency is not met. Middle School PJAS sponsor. Questions or objections? I would like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the following travel. I have 1 through 35. Questions or objections? I would like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the following travel in accordance with policy number 431. Dr. Lori Rosenstiel to attend Global Learning for local workforce on the following dates and locations. September 30th, Falling Water. October 14th, virtual. October 30th, location to be announced. And November 14th, location to be announced at a cost of mileage. Questions or objections? I would like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request the following travel in accordance with policy number 431. Dr. Lori Rosenstiel to attend St. Vincent College Professional Projects 25-26 SAP training on November 20th to 21st, 2025 at the cost of mileage. No questions or objections? I would like that on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
Request approval of the following travel. Dr. Lori Rosenstiel is requesting to attend the Paving the Way to Educational Success Conference sponsored by the Pennsylvania Department of Education's Education for Children and Youth Experiencing Homelessness and Education Stability for Children and Youth in Foster Care on October 15th and 16th, 25 at the cost of registration and mileage. No questions or objections? I would like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that will be placed on the agenda.
So I have Mrs. Driscoll, Mr. Coconut, Mr. Rosenstewart. That's all we have, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Singleton. Moving to technology, Mr. Detweiler.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. I would like to request approval to purchase 40 Lenovo laptops from GovConnection at a cost of $30,760. No questions or objections. I'd like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that'll be placed on the agenda.
Mr. Martre. Mr. Ghost? That's all we have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Detweiler. Moving to transportation, Mr. Coconut.
Thank you, Mr. Panzella. Request approval of the addition updates to the bus van drivers list as proposed. No questions or objections. I'd like that placed on the agenda.
Hearing none, that'll be placed on the agenda.
That's all I have, Mr. Panzella. Mr. Renzi?
Mr. Evans.
That's all we have, Mr. Panzella. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coconut. President's report. No, I don't think we have anything under that. We'll move to public comment for non-agenda items. Just want to remind everybody of the 3-minute time limit, and we will be moving to, first person will be Philip Knives on class rank. Flip.
I'm here again, standing here, and about these children for day one. I believe that you guys did do your due diligence, and we're still trying to see what study you guys did. It's just difficult to understand that these children here are a big part of this school. They're fighting for community. And, you guys haven't really showed us anything about this study other than what Mr. Lawson said. So with a quick call to 4 schools, class rank on every one, have a decent child graduating from this school. Going to the colleges, every one of them had classrooms. Like naturally, we know that's what we're doing. And like I said, I don't see any study. And what's bothering me is looking at the recent history that this school is having right now. I just see maybe that the study is not good based on the track record that you guys are showing. In the news right now, you hire a student or a teacher that has a teacher. You are looking for a school board or a superintendent who had a problem with the school before. You guys can hire them back. It's just showing a lot of incompetence to me. And we're not seeing it. That's all I'm asking. Like, why are these children fighting for something and you guys not even giving them a chance of putting it on the agenda? Like, seriously, all I'm asking for is, what proof do you guys have? Like, these students are smart. They do more things than just go to school. They work. They are in the band. They're doing volunteer work. They're doing so much more in this society that we have. And they're fighting for something that they need. And you guys aren't showing them anything. You're not giving them the respect that they're giving you guys by saying, hey, give us a shot. Show us why you did it. That's all I'm asking for. And I'm going to continue standing here until I see a change with what you guys think, or I'm sitting up there changing it for them. That's where I'm at. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Emma Hall, class rank.
Good evening. My name is Emma Hall, and I'm joined here today with several peers that all support reinstating class rank. Whether it was because you turned on your local news channel or read the newspaper, saw the mayor's post on Facebook, or happened to see us with our signs as you were pulling into the school, I hope you all understand that all of us that sit here today are not interested in backing down. On behalf of the senior class of 2026, the underclassmen, and the future generations of academic achievers at CAHS, we ask that you please reconsider your decision to eliminate class rank. I appreciate the few of you that have taken the time to communicate with us the reasons behind the board's decision, but frankly, as a student on the inside, I can say that they are too easily refutable. Is it true that our students are really opting out of the arts and extracurriculars for APs and honors? From what I can see, it is not. The case at Condesville is that our academic achievers are in countless other sports and activities, clubs, and most have jobs after school. It's wrong to assume that students who take several APs or value class rank are not well-rounded, especially when it is so evidently the opposite here. As an academic achiever myself, I'd like to argue that most of us are also in NHS and have to accumulate a certain amount of volunteer hours, which we do because that's what being an academic achiever is about. Not just earning the highest grades you can, but rather striving to do so while also balancing your social life and the numerous activities you do on top of it. I'd also like to address the argument that class rank actually creates unhealthy competition among students, as there is no opportunity for redemption. Valedictorian is not an end goal, but rather a milestone along the way of someone's journey through life. It's a reward for someone who chose to challenge themselves for the sake of something they care about. If you look at it that way, even if they miss the mark in their class ranking, they can carry that work ethic with them and put it towards their next goal. One has their whole life to redeem themselves, maybe not specifically their ranking, but they can absolutely strive for the next thing they're passionate about. As the old saying goes, you win some, you lose some. By no longer recognizing class rank, you are taking away one short-term goal that's on the way of whatever their end game is. Please put this issue on the agenda when you are given the chance and reconsider your previous decision. Thank you, and I'll see you Wednesday.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Robin Turlington, class rank.
Good evening, my name is Robin Turlington. My daughter is a graduating senior in the class of 2026. I'm here tonight asking for the reinstatement of the honors of valedictorian, salutatorian, and class rank. While I have read numerous opinions on the benefits and detriments of keeping these long-standing high school traditions, I have not found 100% uniformity in those decisions. While many of those opposed, including our school board and high school principal, are citing mental health concerns and not wanting students to limit themselves in course selection, others that are in favor of retaining class rank argue that the use of class rank reporting can encourage constructive competition and encourage students to strive for academic excellence. Those who are in favor of reinstating class rank, such as myself, are not opposed to honoring more students, but simply want to give recognition where recognition is due. If a student has excelled to the top of their class in academics, should not that be given as an example as what can be achieved with hard work and dedication? Or are we trying to remedy the situation of how a student has risen? It has been mentioned before that we want to eliminate the race for being number one to alleviate the stress by taking away the prize. But we're not really eliminating what created the race, are we? I have not heard any discussions on addressing issues that have caused or at least factored into the so-called race. The problem is not that students are packing their school schedules with AP classes. The problem is that there are those gaming the system by possibly taking AP classes online to boost their GPA. Instead of fixing the root cause on the back end, you're taking away the distinction that students, honest, hardworking students, have worked towards since their ninth grade year. Their ninth grade year, which was before this decision was made. If you're really worried about the stress caused by taking too many classes, why are you not limiting the number of classes that can be taken? Why are advanced placement classes, which are not even taught by teachers employed by our school district, allowed to be counted toward GPA? Ask the students and they will tell you that the work is not comparable to what is required in the classroom. This is not how we level the playing field. We don't take away the distinctions with the hope that students will no longer want to subvert the system and walk the line. We counsel those students and question motivations. We fix the system. We don't punish the students. We don't take away honors and distinctions that they have earned and deserve to be acknowledged for. That may be the easier path, but as you can see, it is not the path of least resistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Natalie Mangus, class rank.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Mangus, and I'm a member of the class of 2026. Thank you for allowing us to participate. As you are all aware, my friends Emma Hall, Morgan Nicholson, and I created the petition back in July 8th. It has received support from over 1,100 people. These are the members of our community who support our efforts to make a change. We believe that the decision to remove class rank was based on the decision of a few people who wished to remove the ability to cheat system, the way to get up top, and it's absurd. We are aware that cheating occurs and sometimes cheaters come out on top. Instead of punishing the vast majority for the regrettable actions of a few, we are asking you to fix the system that is broken. If you want to make a change, stop allowing online AP classes to count towards our class rank. Make the playing field even. Those classes are not taught by the same teachers that we have in school, and I know that the AP Lit is significantly less challenging than the work that we did for Miss here in school. If students choose to pay for those classes to gain college credit, allow them to do so, not allow them to count it as class rank competition. Many students cannot afford to pay for classes, and allowing them to count gives those students who pay for them an unfair advantage. The change to the cum laude system is taking away the ability for top students to apply for academic scholarships. This actively harms students from one of the poorest counties in the state. You want us to have every advantage and, if possible, provide more ways to get financial aid, not take students' advantage. Help us prepare for life in the real world by appreciating the hard work that we do. We won't get raises or promotions by being inferior. Honor top students. Allow us to use our true GPA and class rank on our college applications. Schools should be able to see where we compare to the rest of our class. Academic students are working just as hard as those who play sports. We are taking AP classes, working part-time jobs, doing extracurricular activities, as well as community service. We are extremely well-rounded. In addition to my classes, I'm a member of the marching band, jazz ensemble, concert, and symphonic band. I write for the newspaper, and I'm in the senior class play. I participate in student council as well as the game club. And I've been a member for the Penn State 4.0 club from the time I was a freshman. I'm an active member of my church, and I do as much volunteer work as possible on NHS. I also have a job at Walmart, possible. I push myself because I want to keep my education. Doing all these things that carry me to achieve my dreams. And implore you to make a change.
Thank you. Next we'll have, is it Jordan McClellan? Class rank?
Hi, thank you for letting us speak tonight. My name is Jordan McClellan. I am a senior this unlike most of my peers behind me, I am what a well-rounded student, I guess, would describe as. I don't take academics as my highest priority. I take a lot of art classes and other classes, and I feel as though, even though it's not my personal goal that I set for myself, these kids behind me and many other kids in the school district work really hard towards what they want to achieve. And taking away class rank doesn't really do much for them. They work so hard to be recognized, and they have done this their whole high school career. Ever since we were in elementary school, we were taught that we should strive for good grades. We should strive for honors classes. We should strive to go to college to make more money, as someone in a trade would. We're not really introduced to the fact that there are other jobs other than college until we are older. And I feel that taking away the recognition that we've been taught to strive for our whole lives doesn't really give them anywhere to go from here. This is just a small part of their lives. High school isn't our only thing that we do. We have jobs, we have extracurriculars, we have families to take care of, and we do a lot of other things other than sit in the school and do tests. And I feel like you should reconsider your choice and put it back on the agenda so then these kids and other kids in the school district can be recognized for what they have been taught to strive for their whole lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we'll have Julian Smith. Class rank.
Hi, thank you for having us tonight. First, I'd like to talk about what the school board stands for. You guys are supposed to support us in what we think and take it into consideration. Currently, me and my peers do not feel like you are. We don't feel like you're giving it even a second thought, besides when we're here. And it's not, it doesn't make us feel good, is what I'm trying to say. And we'd like you to reconsider bringing back class rank, because we have over, as Natalie said, we have over 1,100 people that agree with us. And we also have 4 separate people that are willing to run for the board if you do not comply with what we are asking. We are asking you to bring back class rank because that's what we see fit. And for all of you up there that don't think that class rank matters or that you can't compare it to sports, we think that you can. You have 4 years to get your grade point average up. You have every test you take can raise it. Every assignment that you have can raise your GPA up into the 4.0. You have 4 years, same with sports, to win. You have every game that you can play to win. Same thing with tests. They will raise your GPA, and you can get and raise into the top 10 if you try hard enough. We're asking you to reconsider bringing back class rank. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Jody Mangus, class rank.
Good evening. I'm Jody Mangus, and I'm here to continue the discussion about class rank. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Renzi and Mrs. Driscoll for responding to my emails. They are the only members of the board that did so, and I appreciate their time and opinions. I'm extremely disappointed that the rest of the board does not seem to have the time to discuss something that is quite clearly important to these students and to the 1,100 members of the community who have signed their petition. You've heard the kids, you've heard some of the adults, you've heard the arguments for and against class rank. I feel that this should not even be an issue. If there is any benefit to keeping it, and clearly there is, because there are scholarships that are available only to valedictorian and salutatorians, then it is your job to listen, to take everything into account, and to vote to correct what has been done. The vote to eliminate class rank was an addition to the November 2023 meeting. There was nothing on the agenda about it after the initial work session. And I would like to ask why. Is it because you did not want the community and the students to be aware of a potential change? Did you not want to hear their voices? Do you not care that they can benefit from the traditional class rank system? I care. I'm listening to them when they ask you to bring something back that can benefit them. There are other parents here who care. We've seen and heard enough at these meetings. We've reviewed previous agendas. We've reviewed copies of the minutes and online videos of past meetings. And we aren't happy with the volume of additions made to the voting meetings. Just by reviewing the agendas available on the school's website, I personally would estimate that additions are made to voting meetings approximately 75% or more of the time. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I understood that additions are to be made at voting meetings for emergency purposes. If that is the case, our district has a lot of emergencies. I don't understand how class rank could be possibly considered an emergency, and it should have been advertised properly as an issue. It should not have been unceremoniously removed based on a few phone calls to local colleges and interviews with one group of students, as Mr. Bosnick stated at the previous meeting. The senior students who were at that point in the fall of their 10th grade year were taking honors and college prep classes in preparation for the AP classes in their junior and senior years. They did not deserve to have the recognition removed in the middle of their high school careers. The parents who are here supporting these students would like to see a change. I know that my daughter is working relentlessly right now. She's awake every day at 5:30 a.m. She goes to school. She has after-school activities. She has a job. And she is here fighting for future generations of students to have the ability to say that they were in the top 10 of their class and use that on their college applications. I'm proud of her, and I'm proud of all of these students. They are your future leaders. The parents supporting them are dissatisfied with what you're seeing from you, our school board. You were elected to make this district better and to do everything possible to support the students. I know of 4 parents who are willing to run for election and improve upon the way things are done here. Take us, the community members
3 minutes.
who sign the petition, and the many students who are or soon will be 18 years old into consideration when you're making decisions. Change is not always good, as evidenced in the removal of class rank. However, sometimes it is necessary when it comes to the election of public officials, and November is right around the corner.
Ms. Magnus, excuse me. When you thank the couple board members about the emails,
Yes.
just to let you know and let everybody else know, I don't get school emails. I don't have the internet. So please don't always put everybody down that's on the board that doesn't see what you guys send.
Can we get your email address so that you can be
You can have a
included?
personal email address, you can have my phone number.
That should be on the school website because that's where all this information is
Yes.
gathered from.
Yes.
That would be a
You're
good
more than
change to
welcome
make.
to email, my personal email, or call me up anytime.
We would appreciate that, yes, and if it could be put on the school website.
I just wanted to let you know
that would be great.
that, you know, I don't want you to.
I do appreciate
ignore
that.
everybody, I'm not, I
Yes.
just don't get it.
Yes, they do not feel heard and they're very
Feel free to
upset.
call, email.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll have Ben Metzger, class rank. Just remember, everybody, it's 3 minutes. Trying to keep it fair.
Absolutely. Thank you and good evening. In case any of you haven't been listening, I really recommend you start listening. Some of you say that you fight for the students and not agendas, but as Jody said, Mr. Bosnick said there was a room of students included in this decision. That's maybe, 10, and there are over 1,000 in this building, let alone this district. As I start my 5th week of college, I look back on my time here. I took 6 AP classes, I had a job, I was in the musical, the play, I did vast amounts of community service work. And all of those things have prepared me tremendously for my freshman year of college. Removing class rank, as you've done, it's pulling the motivation away from these students to take these AP classes. Those same things that have prepared me for what I'm enduring right now. If those college-bound students don't take the AP classes, of which they're being discouraged to do, you are doing them an extreme and massive disservice and allowing them to be underprepared for their freshman year. Taking away all they've pushed for in their whole life. I know that we're here constantly begging you online on the streets with posters. You might see us as pests or thorns in your side, but I'm here just to say we are honest. We are hardworking members of your future, our future, the future of our nation. And we are trying to uphold the driven ways our nation was built upon. We won't back down. We will keep fighting for what is right, for what we think is right, for what our community has expressed is right. You've seen our support. All I ask is that you listen to those that tell you, bring back class rank. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all we have for non-agenda items. Moving to Assistant to Superintendent. Mr. Evans. Motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, can I make a comment, please? A very quick one. I just want to say to these students, to the parents that have come here, I absolutely, and then I'm in awe of all of you, to take the courage to stand up for what you believe in, to fight, to come here, and to ask us to think about how hard we work. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of these kids in the community, and they, believe me, this is their future. And thank you for coming, and I will tell you, I'll put it out here publicly, I support you 100%. Thank you for the fight.